February 24 marked 1 year since Russia launched a full-scale invasion of neighboring Ukraine, leaving 18 million people in need of humanitarian aid and protection. The war has entered its second year, and Russia is still showing unwillingness to abandon what it calls a special military operation in Ukraine. In the latest development, Russian forces have stepped up their weeks-long drive to lay a stage on the eastern Ukrainian city of Bakhmut, and the situation, according to reports or Russian authorities, is extremely tense. Now, let's have more details of that in this report by Moses Imende.
Russia's troops are still not holding back in battling to seize control of the key Ukrainian cities. Amid strong resistance from the opponent's forces more than 1 year since it began a full-scale invasion of the European country, both Russia and Ukraine shared the spoils of the war and suffered grave human costs while cities run aground as diplomacy and negotiations fall short of a peace deal due to a lack of cooperation from the Russian government. According to the latest media reports, Russia has stepped up a new attack on the Ukrainian city of Bakhmut, with fighters trying to cut the Ukrainian fighters' supply lines to the city to force them to subdue. The attack, if successful, will give Putin his first major victory in more than half a year and open the way to the capture of the last remaining urban centers in the Donetsk region. Ukraine's military is, however, resolute in its resistance against the Russian army, saying it repelled more than 60 enemy attacks and its forces also prevented attacks on villages to the north of Bakhmut. According to a Ukrainian military analyst, Ole Zidanov, the southern part of Bakhmut is the only area that can be described as under Ukrainian control. He said the situation is unpredictable in all the other districts. Volodymyr Zelensky also revealed that the situation in the city is getting more and more complicated and that Russia is constantly destroying everything that can be used to protect Ukraine. Ukraine has again found itself in a precarious circumstance like it has on so many occasions in the last 12 months. But the United States is showing support without engaging. The U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen was in Ukraine, where she held talks with the Ukrainian Prime Minister Denis Shmyhal, after which she revealed that the U.S. will provide nearly $50 billion in security, economic and humanitarian assistance, and announced another multi-billion-dollar package to boost the country's economy. U.S. President Joe Biden also recently paid an unannounced visit to Ukraine in a show of support and said Ukraine stands strong and Moscow will never defeat it. The EU and the US have employed sanctions and trade barriers to weaken Russia's position, but Russia has proven time after time that it will not be stopped by such tactics. For Eyeafrica News, I am Moses Imende.